my archery was so bad that they just didn't want to put it in. Because
That's
Morfydd, if you ask her about her archery, she's really good at archery.
was quite good.
Like, no even
Surprisingly,
joking.
wasn't expecting
Have you
it.
been asked about that much?
No, I haven't. I haven't been able to say how great I am at archery.
So my first question is for you, Charlie. So it was really hard watching the scene of Sauron killing Celebrimbor. So I was just wondering, what was it like for you filming that scene?
There's a huge amount of anticipation for that day because it was one of the things Charlie and I were really lucky. It doesn't happen often. We got to film everything chronologically.
Mm.
So it was all in order. And this was one of the last scenes we filmed, if not the last. Um, and certainly on that set. And also because they had to destroy the set to make it. So it had to be the
Oh
last thing that
yeah.
we filmed there. Um, so we had a huge amount of anticipation. And also it was a very challenging scene because he had to be up the pole, up the pillar on a rig, and then somehow back on the ground. And then I had to walk up to him, come away. And um, yeah, so we had to film it all sequentially so that he went up the pole at the end. And there was a lot of anticipation and excitement because it was got to shoot him with the arrows and that's basically the best bit.
It's
Um and there were so many twists and turns in the scene that we had to make them all make sense and we didn't quite know how we were going to do it, which was really exciting as well. So it had this element of the unknown. But I think we're really proud of the way that the scene turned out. And yeah, I was the only bit I was disappointed in is that you never actually see me fire the arrow. It cuts into him getting the arrow.
were you firing?
No, it
Ah,
was a CGI arrow. So the
ah,
arrow's in him, but then he goes, poof, and then it cuts back to me, and I put the bow
ah.
down, and I can't tell whether that was like a slight on me as like my archery was so bad that they just didn't want to put it in. Because
That's
if you ask her about her archery, she's really good at
was
archery.
quite good.
Like, no even
Surprisingly,
joking.
wasn't expecting
Have you
it.
been asked about that much?
No, I haven't. I haven't been able to say how great I am at archery.
See, now I
Uh,
have to ask, did you do like a lot of training for it?
yeah, so I had loads of archery training, and I am. Oh, I
Amazing.
can't throw a ball, can I? So that was like
Hey.
the surprise. So I was like, I'm actually okay with this. And apparently, it's a bit different type of hand-eye coordination. Um,
You sent me a photo and they were all in the bullseye, like 10 arrows.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
And I couldn't tell whether you
felt
pulled them
very
out and just
powerful.
shoved them in there, but from all reports, the
Yeah,
archery master was like, no, you were amazing.
See?
which made me feel very elven. But in terms of do that final scene where you kill Celebrimbor, makeup department were devastated about it.
Why?
It was like, and next week Charlie's dying
Oh,
because because you'd done it all chronologically as well. Like everyone had fallen so in love with Celebrimbor and like
yeah.
was so behind him, and also just Charlie Edwards is such a gem. He
Yeah.
was such a loss, not just for Middle Earth, but also for the Rings
Us.
of Power. Yeah,
Yeah.
crew and cast.
Exactly. And my next question is for Morfydd.
Mm.
There's a hopefulness that we see Galadriel come into by the end of the episodes, and she says that it's not just strength that can overcome darkness, but also light. So, what was it like for you getting to that place of hopefulness with the character?
It was a big relief. Um, and I love this idea. I remember crying when I was watching the Game of Thrones episode where they're all in that super group going off to bring back a one of the not White Walkers, but one of the kind of undead people.
When they go to the
Yeah,
frozen land.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's Jon Snow talking to oh, I forgot his name, but basically where it's like we keep fighting even though we won't win. And that's something that I think I
And
think cynicism is one of the best kind of weapons of someone like Sauron. And to see her kind of fight against that and be hopeful um was I found it kind of it's the type of thing that I like to kind of endeavor to do in my own life. And it was wonderful to kind of play that in this magical world.
Mm.
And my final question for the both of you is your characters obviously go through so many changes from season 1 to season 2. So for you both acting it out, what do you think for you was your character's most defining moments?
That's a really good question. There's quite a few, but I think maybe like the first thing that comes to mind is when the rings work for the first time, in that I see it's actually quite a small scene, but when Midania she puts on the ring and she sees
Yeah.
me and sees my action. I mean, it's a big scene, but like it's just jumped out to me. She sees me and she doesn't realize she sees me, but I'm
Yeah.
like, there is some kind of magic, the unseen world that has been accessed here. This is working. Let's keep making more of these. This is really good. Yeah.
And I think for Galadriel is when she admits to Celebrimbor that she did want something that Sauron offered.
Finally.
Yeah. But also sees that she still loves Celebrimbor, even though he did that too. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you both so much for your time. I really enjoy you both in the series.
Thank
Fingers crossed for
you.
season 3, 4, 5, hopefully. So
Thanks, Brittany.
thank
Lovely
you.
to chat with you.